Hello everyone and welcome to a Create with Kylie art tutorial video. In this video, we are going to be looking at the X plus diamond hashtag transfer technique. It is a better technique than the regular old square grid technique because it involves a heck of a lot less math. And if you're an artist, you most likely don't enjoy math class all that much. So I found a different way of doing a transfer technique. You are going to need a visual reference. This technique in this project, we are doing fan art. So we're using somebody else's artwork to reproduce and make our own art. So we're acknowledging that it's not our stuff. We didn't originally come up with our heroes. Our theme is heroes. I've chosen Miles Morales because I like the whole Spider-Man and Into the Spider-Verse series. Can't wait for the upcoming movie. So I've chosen him as the hero for this piece of art. I didn't come up with him. It's not my original idea, but I'm going to just have fun drawing and learning from how the original artist came up with their stuff. The end goal is going to be in colored pencil crayons. But right now, what we're going to focus on today is the grid transfer technique itself. You'll need your visual reference, a ruler, and your large piece of paper that you're going to end up putting your artwork on. Okay, so start with this. Start with your visual reference. You got a pencil and a ruler, and you're going to be working from the image itself. Okay, so when I say corner to corner, I'm talking about the image's corners, not your paper's corners, okay? So we're gonna start, the whole technique is called the X plus diamond hashtag, okay? And for my students in my classroom who are watching this in real life, I don't know why the thing's flipped, but we're gonna be working from the X plus diamond, hashtag. So take your rulers and look very closely. You want to get it right on the physical point of the image, and same for over here. You got to be really careful when you do this, because if you mess up on a photocopy and try to erase it, then you're going to pull up the ink of the photocopy. If your image doesn't have corners, I think I've seen a couple students with scared faces. You can measure off the side of the page and give yourself a border. So who doesn't have a border around their art? Oh, lots of people. Okay, who wants to volunteer one of their images for me to draw? Yours is fine. It uses the whole page. You don't need to draw a border. Yours is okay. You could take a little off the top and bottom. Can you? Yes, Lego. Let's bring Lego over here. Okay. So this person's image is way small. There's a lot of unused negative space. So they're going to have to create a border to work off of. It's got to be perfectly square. So what I like to do is I use inches. Those are the big numbers. And I find 0 on the ruler. I put it on the physical edge of the paper. I like these rulers because they're see-through, so you can still see the paper underneath it. And I find the widest point of the hero. That's his hand for this instance. So I'm going to put a mark at 2 inches for me. Everybody's image is different. So it's a little bit of space off the character himself. I'm going to do that a second time. By putting 2 measurement marks, I know I'm going to have a straight line. If I skip that step and just eyeball it and hope for the best, you're going to have a crooked mark. So there's a nice straight line. I connected the dots. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Putting a mark there, doing it twice. There we go. And then off the head, I think 1.5 inches will be nice. we go. Measuring twice. There we go. So for this student, the corners that they're going to be working off are these corners here and here, the ones that you've drawn, not the physical corners of the paper itself. So when I made my decisions about this border, I wanted to give the hero a little bit of space. I didn't want to draw right on the hero, give him a little bit of room. So that's what you should do if you have a hero floating in a void of nothingness. You can come take this back. Thank you for letting me use it as a demo. Okay, so here we go back onto our images. I'm hoping you have your borders. If you don't, that's the whole reason I'm recording this video. You can rewatch it. That's awesome as is. Just go for it. Anybody else have questions? If you manage to make the image fill the page, good, awesome. Roll with it. Okay? You okay over there? Yeah? All right. Yeah, the reason I'm recording this is that if you get totally lost and left behind, or if you're not even here, you can watch this and learn from it in your own time. Okay, ruler. Going through the physical corner, right that little point, and drawing a line. The nice thing about graphite is it's kind of reflective and you can see it in the light. Do it again for the other side so that we make an X. Corner to corner. There's an X. Now we're on to the plus. And this is the only itty bitty bit of math that we have to do. And even then we can cheat. I hope the math teachers aren't watching this video later. So I found my 0 of my ruler, okay? Right there. It's the physical edge of the ruler. Or not, sorry, the mark. Jeez. And watch this. I'm going to even not math this. I can put a little dash on my ruler and it'll wipe off. So right where that crosshair is, right in the center, I put a mark on my ruler to indicate where that was. I'm going to slide my ruler up and put a dash where I had marked it. Okay, I had to mark the middle there. I'm going to put my pencil and make sure that my ruler is touching that mark and goes perfectly through the center of that crosshair. I'm going to draw a line. There's one part of the X or the plus. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to spin my paper around, find 0, put it on the edge of the image, put a dash where the crosshair is. It's like right there. Slide it over to the edge and put a dash on the sides of the image where the mark was. So I found where the crosshair was, right in the center, put a little dash on my ruler, moved the ruler to the edge, made sure 0 was on the edge of the image, and I put a dash. Then I'm going to draw a line, making sure that my ruler and my line is crossing through that center mark. There we go. I'm going to be a good person because this is a borrowed ruler. This is a classroom ruler. So I'm going to wipe off my marks with my thumb. Okay, so the next person doesn't get confused. There, it's gone. No harm done. Okay, so we've done the X, we've done the plus, and now we're on to the diamond, and it's a heck of a lot easier. So we have north, east, south, and west. It's backwards for the classroom people. You're going to take the ends of the plus sign, and you're going to connect them. For those of you who just walked in, you're going to have to watch this lesson a little later. You missed important information by not being prepared for class. Womp womp. There we go. And there we go. So we have a diamond shape over top of our image. We made the diamond by connecting the ends of the plus sign. Boop, boop, boop. So we have X. We have plus. And we've got diamond. And we're on to the last step, hashtag. So to make the hashtag, look at the X's, the smaller X's that have been created now that we've done the diamond. See the center points of the X's? Can you find them on your images? You're going to connect the center points of the X's with your ruler and pencil. So I'm making sure that my ruler's cutting right through the new little crosshairs. And I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to do it again over here, making sure my ruler cuts through the crosshairs. We have to do it the other way as well. Making sure my ruler goes through the middles perfectly before I draw the line. Don't just wing it. Don't rush. Ta-da! So I have successfully drawn an X plus diamond hashtag grid over top of my visual reference. You can see it shining in the light. It's so shiny. Yay. Okay, sorry for my video watchers. I forgot to instruct my class to grab a pair of scissors. So it's going to be noisy for a couple seconds. How quickly can we get scissors without taking forever? Ready, set, go. No running in class. Maybe Good Samaritans could grab a handful for their group and just give it to them. Oh, thank you. Kiki. Yeah, of course. All right. Those are fine. I just grabbed it because it's purple and I'm in a purple mood today. I've got a purple shirt, purple ruler, purple scissors. It's a purple. Oh, and my purple Converse. Cosmic. Okay. All right. So now we are oh so carefully going to cut an edge right along that edge. Not like a hamster, not like a budgie. Nice straight edges. Right on the edge of the image. So in the previous project we did, I taught you about the graphite transfer technique, where you covered the back of your visual reference with graphite, with charcoal, with whatever. And then you placed it on your art page and you traced over the visual reference and the graphite moved onto your art page. And then you did your art using those guidelines. Gives you perfect proportions and all that jazz. But the con to the graphite transfer technique is that it only can be the same size as your visual reference. This transfer technique allows you to enlarge your image, your visual reference. Up. Oh, there it is. Set those clippings aside. There we go. Nice and clean. Okay. Take your artwork page and look at your visual reference. Is it taller than it is wider? Mine is taller ever so slightly than it's wider. So I'm going to make the decision to put my paper in the portrait setting. If you're on your cell phones and doing anything other than listening to this lesson, you are failing the expectations of a student in school. So I'm making the decision to put my artwork this way because my visual reference is taller than it is wider. You guys are going to have to make decisions based upon your printouts, okay? Whatever that may be. Okay. So take your visual reference and put it in the bottom corner of your artwork paper and line the edges up perfectly, as snug as you can. Okay, what's wrong? You good? Oh, okay, you're helping? Okay, love it. Take your ruler. Doesn't matter which corner right now. For your first go, it doesn't matter right now. Okay, so I've got it snug right down in the corner. My edges are aligned. I can feel them with my nail, with my finger. Don't get paper cuts. Oh. Take your ruler and lay it along the diagonal line of the X. Lay it along it, but overflowing onto your paper. So I've got a good chunk going along there. Hold it nice and steady, and with your pencil, extend that line. Once you have an extension, I'm holding my ruler down. I don't want it to move. I'm going to slide the visual reference out and try to finish as much of that line as I can, all the way to the corner of my artwork paper. Now draw these lines lightly, kids, because the end product isn't going to have grid lines, hopefully. You're going to have to erase these later. So draw them so you can see them, but draw them lightly so that you can erase them later. Okay, so what I did was I aligned, one more little recap. I aligned my visual reference nice and snug, nice and parallel with the bottom edges of my artwork paper. I took my ruler, I put it along the diagonal line of the first X marks that I had drawn, right? You with me? Yeah? And then I took my pencil and I extended that off the page onto the good copy. So just right off it. Yep. So with mine, some people are looking at me concerned, nonverbal concern being sent my way. My X, that line that I extended, landed here, and that's okay. That's okay. It's all good. Okay, everybody's just going to be a little bit different, and that's wonderful too. All right. So noticing that my line that I extended didn't go all the way up here. It ended here. So I know that, oops, you can't see both sides of my page. There we go. I know that my artwork is only going to be as tall as this. All up here is going to be cut off. So this is where a logical decision, a decision based on logic needs to happen. And it's going to be different from all of you. This is a test. Oh my gosh. I have to slide my artwork over to get that other diagonal line. It was originally here, and I drew this line. Oop, everything's backwards. I have to look down. So I drew this. Does it logically make sense for me to move my artwork, my visual reference here, and do this line? No, the answer is no. Okay, I know that this chunk is going to be cut off. I want you to find, if you have a piece that's going to be cut off because your diagonal line doesn't meet up with the physical corner, I want you to say, this is cut off. So that means I have to move my visual reference to this corner over here, the opposite one. So I went this way so that when I draw and extend my diagonal line, it's going to hit the same spot on the other side of the page. So once again, I'm carefully aligning it with the physical edge of my artwork. And I'm going to lay my ruler along that line that goes across the other part of the X. There we go. Nice and careful. I'm happy with it. And then I'm going to extend it off the paper. Slip this little guy off to the side. Try to finish as much of the X as I can. All the way to the paper. All the way to the paper. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I can't art and talk at the same time, which is not very good for an art teacher. Okay, so I know I've done it right because both of these ends are ending across from each other. Okay? I don't have one way up here and the other one all over the other place. And I can go so far as to drawing and connecting them like that. So all of this is scrap. Yes. One students asked what happens if it's just a little off. If it's a little off, we're gonna just we'll let it go. A little off. But if it's like totally askew, then it's not okay. You're gonna have to try again. All right. This is also a great place for you to write your name. Boom. Once again, you guys are seeing the mirror image. I don't know why. Ah, I have a viewer. How exciting. Hello, viewer. Okay, whoever that may be. That one, you can see it just up there. Oh my gosh, I have a fan. I know. No, is it me? No. It's not. Okay. So we have the X. Remember, we've got X plus diamond and hashtag. Let's do it on this stuff, on the artwork. So we've got the X done. Easy peasy. This is where we need to find the middle point. It's right here. So I'm going to put 0 on the physical edge of my paper and line it up with the crosshairs. Put a little mark on my ruler because I am rebelling against math. And then I'm going to slide it up and put a mark on my page where the middle mark was. Sorry. And connect the lines, the marks, perfectly through the center, pressing lightly with my pencil because I know my future self has to erase all this work. A little sad, but true. Doing this again. Putting a mark on my ruler of where the middle is. Making sure that 0's there. Putting a mark here. Slide it over. Cha-cha slide. Put a mark there. I'm grateful that these pieces of paper are just long enough so these rulers work on them. That's what I'm grateful for today. There we go. And then just wiping off those little marks, clean up myself. There we go. Nothing's wrong. Nobody drew on school supplies. I don't know what you're talking about. So we've done the X. We've done the plus. What's next, kids? Diamond. Yes, you're all right. Yay. That's the students talking. Film before a live studio audience. Okay. Boom. Boom. I'm not rushing this. I'm making sure that I'm hitting those ends. If I'm going fast for you, it's only because I've done this a gajillion times. And you can pause this video until you get it right. That's the pro to learning off of videos. Pardon? No, but if you have to rewatch this. You can't pause me while I'm live. No, that's true. Is everybody okay? Raise your hands if you're okay. Good. I got 2 in a class of 25. I'm doing awesome. The rest of you struggling. That's okay. I will visit you individually after I'm done this video. All right. So now we are on the hashtag side of things. The step, I'm making sure that my ruler goes through the little X's that I've just created. Okay. Boom. All the way to the bottom edge of the paper. Oh my gosh, 2 viewers. Hello, second viewer. You have made my day. Welcome. I hope your day is marvelous. There we go. And now the second, 3. Holy moly. Oh my God, I'm so famous. We're going to line up the ruler between these 2 these 2 crosshairs. This is probably the students in the classroom who are taking pity on me. There we go. Yay! It's so beautiful, so neat and tidy. It's very satisfying. All right. So here we go. We've got this grid. We've drawn this grid on our visual reference, and we've drawn this grid on our artwork. And mathematically or not, this is the same ratio as this. So we're going to go triangle by triangle instead of box by box, and you will be able to reproduce your image accurately. How do I do that? Well, I look at where does the image cross over grid lines. I'm going to manually zoom. Okay. So how does the hair cross over this grid line? Is it close to a point? Is it close to the middle? And I ask myself all these sort of questions like how far, how close, what is it in comparison to others? And then I'll put a little mark. So I know that this is this line. Oops, sorry. Cough if I'm off camera. There we go. So this is this line over here, and I'm going to put like a little mark as to where the hair crosses over that grid line. And then this one, it's really close to the crosshair there. So I'm going to put a little mark there. And then I just look at what kind of a journey this line takes to get from here to there. And for miles, it's a fun, I don't know, random kind of line work. I'm going to go over here to here, put my little end line. Where is it in comparison to the crosshairs? And then I just cut across, fun little jagged line. It gets pretty close over here to the crosshairs. So I'm just using how close, how far away from lines is it? And I'm going to look here. So I'm not worrying about too much other than where is it in comparison to the lines, to the cross marks, where lines intersect. When I get into a really tough position, like let's say his face, like right here, the eye, the nose, the mouth, the ear, I want to do a really good job on getting his face right. The beauty of this artistic technique is that it allows you to focus in on tough areas better than the grid box system allows for. So if you look, every rectangle in this grid system already has 1/2 of an X. You can take your rulers and complete the X to give you more lines, grid lines to use to compare. So I've drawn another grid line in this box, and I'll do it again over here. So now I have more things to compare and contrast. Like his ear goes across here. His side of his face goes here. So I've got a lot more to go on to help me figure out the proportions, the correct proportions of his face. So I hope this helps you with the artistic technique of the grid transfer, the X plus diamond hashtag transfer technique. Please like and subscribe on my videos, and happy arting. Until next time.